Hi everybody, Maria here. Just popping in with a YouTube here using some lovely new goodies that I have from Lisa Horton Crafts. So this is the star of the show, okay? Let me show you that for anybody that hasn't seen it. So what Lisa has come up is with this fantastic concept. I was so excited to get these. So what Lisa's done is she's come up with this beautiful sets of overlay stencils. This one, wildflower spray, this one was on the absolute top of my list. I was having that no matter what. In fact, I actually bought it early and paid the extra money to make sure that I was not going to miss out. So the idea is that each of these stencils will stencil a different part of your design, okay? And then what you can do is you can cut the design out, okay, using this set here, and then you can emboss it using the embossing folder if you want. Obviously you can just do stenciling or you can just do this part, but the whole set, the sort of the stencils and the die and the folder, I think really are a marriage made in heaven, and they've been an absolute joy to use. They really are. So check those out. So I'm going to use those. Okay, let me just pop those on. I'm surrounded by stuff to make sure I've got everything to do this YouTube. So that's that. Let's see what else. Excuse me. In the background here you see this beautiful lattice. So that is this set here, which is called Ornamental Lattice, and there is 5 dies in here. You'll see all of those in a moment. Okay, so I'm going to use that for the outside and the sort of background as well. Now here, the teacup, that was a charity shop find, just some little random die cuts in a bag which I grabbed. So rather than tease you with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to alter this a little bit, and I'm going to use the vase from this set here, so vase of florals. I'm going to use that one instead of the teacup, and hopefully that'll be okay. All right, now this is a big card. This is a 20 centimeter card, which is almost 8 inches. Officially this is a kind of an 8-inch card. It will fit into an 8-inch envelope, and I've made it using my own coloured card, and I've made it, if you see, if I open that up, you'll see we've got the actual shape of the die as well. So it's a shaped card. So I'm going to show you how to do that and show you how to create a larger card like this from your own pieces of A4 card. Okay, right, so let's jump in. Let's deal with the card blank itself first of all. All right, so let me just put that where I can see it and hopefully reach it as well, and we will jump in. Now the back of the card, first of all, I've actually just done this. This is take 2. I'll be honest, I've already started this video once, and then there's either the dog barks or the door goes, or you go, no, you did that the other way around, or something. So I'll just talk this piece here. So this has started out as our first piece of A4 card, and all I've done here is I have taken this long ways, all right, and I have chopped off 1 centimetre. So this now across here is 20 centimetres, and as I say, the piece that I've cut off is just literally that little bit there. Okay, so that's that. And then I've taken my my scoreboard. Let me bring that up and just sort of demonstrate. So you go. So I've got my hoogie, and I have just popped that into place, and I have scored this at 20 centimetres down so that I can then fold this over like so. So this now, this here is the back of the card. This is going to attach with the front. Okay, right, so again I'm going to pop that on one side and we'll deal with the card front. Now this is the one that's just a little bit more sort of, well, challenging, I suppose. So I'll bring in my cutting plate and my other piece of A4 card, okay? And this is what we're aiming for, sort of similar to this, okay? Hopefully, let's move that one out the way so you can see. So this is kind of part cut, if you can see that, okay? We don't want to cut this side here. So let me show you how we're going to do that. So I'm going to pop that onto here and bring in the dies. Now what have I done? I've just had those in my little old mitt. Here we go. So what we've got here in this set, this might help explain what we've got. So these are the smaller dies. Now we're going to use those later, so I'm going to pop those up there. We don't need to worry about those for the minute, but let me explain these two. So this one here, the one with the very ornate design here, the very sort of filigree, this gives you the option of having the design left in your card. It's got no outside cutting edge to actually cut it out as a freestanding shape. Okay, we're going to use that in a while, but for the moment we're going to use this one. Now this one will then give you the option, this will give you the cutting shape on the outside, okay, and that's the one we're going to use right now. So I'm just going to pop this onto my piece of card like so, okay, and I'm going to stick this down so it doesn't go jiggling all over the place. Now remember, we only actually want to cut most of this. We don't want one side of this cutting. So how do we achieve that? Well, it's nice and easy. All we're going to do with that, okay, is I'm just making sure this is sort of straight. It doesn't really matter that much. I'm being finicky now. Right, so we're just going to take this to the edge of the cutting plate. And you see my cutting plate underneath here. So what I want is that edge. Okay, let me see if I can get something dark. Let me take this red piece of card. Let me pop this under something you might be able to see a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so can you see that that edge is out of the cutting platform? Yeah, that's what we want. So I'm making sure that it's the same top and bottom, okay, so that I don't cut that edge. And what you'll see, okay, is in a second, let me put the sandwich together and show you, because we're going to have some of that sticking out of the sandwich. So let me put my plate sandwich together. That's just a shim, a card shim, and then I'm going to use this plate here. And what you want to see, okay, is that little bit sticking out, okay? That is not in. Let me turn it on its side so you can see the side profile. See that? So that is not going through the machine, just that little bit. So I'm going to run that through now. Bear with me a second. Okay. It's easy when you know how, that little trick. Okay, right. Just move my machine a little bit closer to me. Okay, that'll do. Right, so hopefully when we take this away, what we're going to have, there we go, let's take the tape off carefully. There we go. Right, let's pop that die so it doesn't get lost. Here we are. So what we've got now, look, is the part cut piece like so. All right. Lovely jubbly. So what I'm going to do for the minute, just because it's awkward, I'm just going to tear that away, and I'm going to tear that away as well. Now this needs to be 20 centimeters as well, because what we're going to do is we're going to join our front and our back. Okay, so first of all, we now need this to be 20 centimeters across this way. So let me just grab my trimmer again. There we go. So I'll just bring this in like so, and I don't need to take very much off that at all. Again, it's about a centimetre, if you can see up here. I mean, the front can be a tiny bit short anyway, and it's quite nice to have that sometimes. Right, I think that's about right. So I'm just going to chop that bit down like so. All right, and then let's have a little look at what we've got. So this one is going to go on top of this one, okay? And you'll see again that we've got the front is bigger here and here. So those pieces also need to be chopped down. And what we can do is we can either just go in with scissors, or again you can go in with your trimmer, but we've got to be careful that you don't cut too far up here into your lovely design piece. So I'm going to go in with the scissors because I think it's going to be just about there, okay, because we also want it to join up to our design. Okay, I'm going to do the same over this side. Just going to take just that small amount, probably about 1/2 centimetre, and just taper that in. Okay, so that's what we've got. So let's have a look now. This is kind of the challengey bit, just sort of figuring this this carte blanche out. Okay, so that can then go onto the front here. So that's going to be lovely, lovely jubbly. So to join those, okay, we're going to use some glue, and while we're at it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some ribbon on there as well, because I can hide the ribbon between here and here. Okay, so let's have a little look, and I'm going to just see where I want that ribbon. I'm just going to use this for a moment. I'm going to cut one of these for you so you can see it, but I've got things ready just in case I have an oopsie moment. Missed a little bit there. There we go. Right, so I've gone for this ribbon because it matches this, and also because I didn't have enough gold left that I used on the first project. Right, so I'm just going to take a piece big enough first of all to go around here. So okay, so I've eyeballed that now, so I can go about 1 inch in with my ribbon. So let's just get rid of that, and I'm going to take this ribbon behind. Okay, so I'm going to use some wet glue. I'm looking forward to Lisa's new glue arriving. That will be very, very nice. Right, so I'm just going to pop my ribbon on there like so, and then I can take it behind, and this way, by popping the ribbon on at this point, I can hide all my my sins. There we go. I'm going to put some glue along like that as well, and we can stick the whole thing down. There we go. Right, just pop that on, and I think what I'll do, just to kind of double glue that, I'll put a bit more on there, like so. Okay, here we go. Let's just press that down, hopefully without getting glue on the fingers, and then we're going to pop this on here, and it's going to join just nicely like so. And what we want to see here is the bottom of this design joining the bottom of the carte blanche, and if you're unsure, just stand it up and see. Will it stand up nicely? Yes, it does. So we're all good. Okay, so just press that down there. While that has time to dry for a minute, we'll make a little bow. So let's have a look. Okay, just going to tuck this behind. I like gross grain ribbon because it holds its shape quite nicely. and I like the texture. There we go. Now let's have a look at the size. I think that's quite nice. I'll pull that tight now. A bit of shape. And then trim that off. These scissors are not very good. I know which scissors I need. Oh, here we go. Right, that's better. Yeah, so that nice crisp cut. And then we've got our bow. So what I'll do there, let's pop that on with, again, a bit of glue. And I'm going to weight that down. I'm going to pop it over to one side and weight it down. Here we go. Let's go that way, actually, with the ribbon facing outwards. So I'm going to put that on the side, and I'm going to put something like my sellotape holder on top of it just to help that grab. Okay, and then we'll move on to the next little bit. Okay, that's done. Let's get rid of the ribbon. Right, okay, so let's carry on with the decoration-y bit. So we want to cut one of these bits here, and I'm using my last piece of apple card. I've probably got more at work, so that's okay. I'll have to go up and grab some from my little old office. So what we want this time is the decoraty bit, the filigree part of this die set, okay? And we also want the piece that we've just used as well, because we want to cut this out. And what I'm going to do, now it's up to you if you want to cut these separately or together, but what I would say to you, what I would urge, okay, is if you are cutting more than one die at a time, you must be sure to stick those dies together, okay? Sellotape them together, because if they move around if you haven't grabbed it enough or whatnot, if those dies overlap and they go through that machine, you will damage your dies, okay? So honestly, never try and wing it and just put them through and hope for it. Honestly, these are beautiful dies. Look after them. So do I need anything else from here? I need to cut this middle piece out. So let's have a look. I think I went with the larger die. Yes, I did. So now I'm going for 3 dies. And again, I'm going to make sure that this is stuck down so that, but if you're sort of quite new to die cutting, or if you're not ever so confident, then do just cut these layers separately, all right? It's not going to take you an awful lot longer. But I've been cutting for a long time, so I'm confident in doing this. Right, okay, so what this is going to do for me is it's going to give me the lovely filigree, it's going to cut it out, and it's also going to cut this piece out as well, okay? If you want to just keep it as a big piece and have that solid with your colour, then don't use this plate. Right, okay, so let's have a little look. And pop this through there. Okay, so this is what we want to achieve. This is what we're looking for, one of those. Okay, right, so let's take these dies away. And what we have got beautifully cut is, so that's the centerpiece, so that's not waste, and it's lovely. Look at that, the beautiful stitching design. So that will come in handy. If I don't use it on this project, I'll use it on another. And then all of these bits, they come out so easily. Everything here is really nicely cut. So we just use, you know, a lot of them literally don't even need, what have I got? My little brush here and sometimes it's handy to use a piece of foam as well. So we just give that a brush and we just literally look, everything is cut really nicely. Okay, assuming you've got a decent machine, because come on, the dies are fab, but you've got to have a good machine as well. There we go. So let's pop those around. I didn't really need to pop all of these out because I have got that other one that I've already done, but I might as well just work on this one, and then I've got a good excuse then with the other one to make another card, haven't I? There we go. So you can see, just gently, gently, gently. Okay, there we go. So I'll go on to the other one because we've got bits on there, because otherwise you'll be falling asleep on my YouTube. Right, where's my scraper? Let's get all those bits off there. There we are. Get rid of those for the minute. Okay, so I think we're done with that bit for the time being. So let's have a little look at what we've got. So we've got this bit here, okay, and I think what I'll do, I'm just looking at my card blank to see if that glue is stuck on the ribbon. I think, yeah, we can get away with it. So we're going to just gently pop this into place. So I'm going to use a wet glue. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a piece of cellophane, okay, and I'm going to put my glue on my cellophane like so. Okay, can you see that? There we are, that's a bit better. So let's get plenty of that glue on like so. And then I'm going to just dip my die cut onto the glue like so. Okay, so I'm going to take that all the way around, and hopefully we'll have glue all the way around the back of our die cut, but we won't have too much of it. And that is a quick way to get intricate die cuts glued up. Here we go. And I'm just going to line that up with our die cut card blank. Okay, let me just make sure if we open the card blank, that'll help a bit, won't it? Can see, oh, ribbon's coming off. Not to worry, I'll weight it back down in a minute. No big deal. So look, let's just jiggle that a little tiny bit. Get that straight. And press all of that down. And you'll see that's all stuck down really nicely. Okay, so card blank is sorted for the moment. So I'm just going to weight that ribbon back down, and we're going to deal now with the pretty bit. Okay, so let's get rid of my gluey doodah for the time being, and we will do some stenciling now. Okay, and that'll give our piece time to dry. Right, so I'm going to bring in this new loveliness. So Lisa's new tool. It's a Ultimate, this is called. So it's great stamp platform, but also you'll see you've got your pegs up here, and these are for the lovely stencils. You've also got this nice rubber mat, so you can do your inky technique, you can blend on there. This also will hold your card nice and still, but you do actually also get 2 super strong magnets anyway with this, so that's great, and a black mat as well. So right, I've got here then a piece of stamping card which I'm going to use. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that up there like so, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the floral piece first, which is this one. So we need the stencils for that first of all. So I've got those over here, okay, and I've got some inks ready. Now I'm going for orange versions. Those of you that know me quite well will not be at all surprised to see me using orange. In fact, I may have my spare ones. Oh, there's nothing wrong with orange. Love orange. Love it, love it, love it. So I've got a nice selection here, and then I've thrown a bit of red in too. but whatever colours you've got, you know. And then a couple of greens as well. And I've got some brushes. I've got various brushes, but I thought that I would give these a little bit of a, I haven't used these yet, I haven't had time. And these are Lisa's brushes. These are the Bijou brushes. Apparently these are on order again. Lisa's got these on the way. And these, again, lovely stencil brushes as well. So I'll see how I get on with those, because these I haven't christened those yet. This is the christening. Okay, right, so on here then, all of these lovely stencils have got a number. So if you can see up in the corner there, number 1. Okay, so I pop that onto those little pegs like so. And then we can make a little start. So this is leafy bits. So I'm going to go with my lighter green colour for this one. So I'm going to take a little Bijou brush. And let's see how we get on with this. Probably need plenty of ink on there, because I say the brush has not been used. This is its first outing. So let's give it a good old. Also, my distress inks tend to be not especially juicy, because I've had them a long time and they're well used, and certainly these particular colours. There we go. So I'm not putting too much ink on there, because this is my paler shade. Okay, this is the paler layer of the leaves. So you haven't got to go too crazy. Always remember, you've got to go darker on top of here yet. All right. So that is layer 1. So we just take those off, pop that to one side. So let's have a look. So there we are. So now I've got number 2. And again, this is leafy bits. So pop that on there. Okay, make sure my card's where it was. I could probably just use, there we go. Let's pop some magnets down. Not that they're particularly necessary, but let's use them. We've got them, so use them. Right, so now I'm going to go with a little bit of Mowed Lawn, and I'm going to use the same brush. Should I use the same brush? No, I'm going to save one of those for a bit later. So I will, what will I do? I'm going to leave that one. I've got a plan. I've got part of a plan in my head. So I'm going to pop that to one side, and I'm going to use one of these brushes here. Okay, so we're going to go over now. Oh, that's juicy. Good grief. Yeah, I don't use Mowed Lawn too often. So that's going to be rather juicy. There we go. So over we go. And the stencils, as I use them, I'm just going to pop them onto the side for the moment, because I'm using Distress water-based ink, so there's no need to worry about having to panic and get those clean straight away. They're going to stay wet. Don't worry about that. They will be easy to clean. Here we go. So that's layer 2. That's looking lovely already, isn't it? Then what have we got? Number 3. I'm impressed with myself. I've washed these and I've put them back in the correct order. Aren't I a good girl? It's unlike me. It's unlike me to be tidy. Okay, so let's pop that one away. Now then, so we're on to our flowers. So I'm going to go with my lightest orange. So I'm going to go with my dried marmalade. Okay, and I'm going to pop the other Bijou brush out of its little holster, and we'll ink this up now. And again, let's get plenty of ink on there because we're christening the brush. So again, this is the palest layer, so we haven't got to go too crazy with this, because a lot of this is going to be covered up anyway by the different layers. Here we go. So we can do this just lovely and nice and quick and easy. There we go. Okay, so that is as much of that layer, as much of that colour or shade as I need. So that's number 3. And actually, there's always more colour on there than you imagine. Right, number 4, okay. Another shade of orange as well. So let me look at my shades here now. So I've got 3 layers to go. So I want to decide at this point. So I've got this one that I've popped down. I've got this one, and this is just the centre of that flower. So how dark do I want to go? Because I've got, let me show you what I've got here. Okay, so I could keep it quite sort of subtle, or I could go with some red in there as well. I'm going to go with, I'm going to leave the crackle pumpkin out. Campfire pumpkin, where did that go? Oh, there's pumpkin, look. And I'm going to leave that one out. Right, so that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to throw a little bit of red in the mix with this one. So we're going to jump now to the right persimmon. This is going to be quite bright, and it's a quite new colour to me, so it's going to be juicy. So I'm going to go gentle for the moment. I can always put another layer of this on, because don't forget, when I lift this stencil up, I can get it right back in the position where it was because of the lovely little location peg. So let's have a look. Oh yeah, I like that. So not too much, but it's definitely there. Right, and then so number 5 now. Here we go. And this one, I'm going to throw a little bit of the candied apple. And again, I don't use candied apple that much. I tend to use more of festive berries. So what I'm doing here is I'm picking up a bit of ink, all right, but I'm getting rid of some on some copy paper. I don't want this to be too red. But again, I can pop this back down and put some more on if I feel it's too pale. Let's have a little look. Okay, I'm going to have a peep first. Oh yeah, that's lovely. That's just right, just what I wanted to achieve. Okay, brilliant. And then final one, number 6, and this one is just literally the centre of this. Now I could go in with some green if I wanted, but I think I'm going to stick with that red, and I'm going to go dark with the red. So I'm just going to use another one of the stencil brushes there. I'm going to go again with the candied apple, but put it quite bright. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's great. That's lovely. So there we are. That's the stenciling done for the wildflowers. So I'm just going to grab all of my stencils for that. I'm going to put them over on the floor so I don't put my elbows in. And what we'll do is we will do another bit of stenciling on the other side of the card, the other end, because don't forget I mentioned about the vase. So while we've got inks out, we might as well do that. Okay, so vase, let me find the vase stencils. Have I taken them out already? Oh yes, they're right next to me. Do you know, some days. Okay, bear with me a second while I grab those bits. Okay, so the main piece that I want here is the vase. So where's our number? So this one is actually number 8. Will that go on there? Right, I'm gonna turn it around that way this time. Or yeah, I'll have to remember to turn the others around if I use them. So I just want a vase. So what I've done is I've grabbed mustard seed, and I'm going to use the brush that I used with the greens. Okay, so there's not too much on it. So what I get here is a bit of a mixture. So I'm going to get the yellow, but I'm going to get a little bit of kind of contamination there as well. The green that was on the brush will just dull this down a little bit, because I don't particularly want bright yellow. So what I could do there is, yeah, can you see up here getting a bit of that green? And I think I'll grab a bit more, just give it one little dab on my peeled paint. ink. There we go. And what I want to achieve is just the shape of the vase. So let's just, because what we can do as well in here is stencil into the vase. So I just want to really establish the outside of the vase more than the centre. Let's get a little bit more, let's give it a glow in the middle. That'll do fine, that's absolutely plenty. Rightio. Now what I'm going to do is leave that stencil in place for a moment. Where's my lid? There we go. And I'm going to have a look at the other stencils that go with this set. Right, here we go. So we've got some little flowers here. Okay, we don't want to go too crazy because we've got all these beautiful flowers, but we could decorate our vase. Right, here we go. So I'm going to go with this flower there. Okay, let's get a bit of red. As I say, I don't want to go too crazy on this because it's only the vase. Okay, a little bit there, maybe a little bit coming off the side and going around the back of the vase here. Okay, right. Oh, I've got a bit of that there, so let's have a look. Let me see, because that will annoy me, that will. Let's get those bits there. Right, and to make those tie in, make them look like they're supposed to be there, I'll put a couple more on there. There we go. That'll do. That's fine. It's just a tiny bit of detail is all I'm looking for on the vase. Right, so let's get some die cutting going on now. So again, I'm going to put those inky stencils down on the floor before I stick my fingers in them. I'm going to get rid of the Ultimate over there, and we will now bring in, here we go. Right, so what we need is, we need the die for the vase. There we go. This is a first time out of the packet, this one. Okay, so that's going to, and we're going to have to obviously just sort of alter that a little bit. That's no problem at all. And we won't see where we're going to alter. See that? Okay. And then we also need the die cut for the wild flowers as well. Here we go. So again, let's get some bits of tape. Let's line this up nicely. Okay. And the beauty of these dies as well is, well, they are easy to line up, but if you want a little sort of highlight around the edges, or if you're not ever so good at lining things up, then it doesn't look wrong. It works. It absolutely works. Right, here we go. So let's just pop that there. A bit of cotton under there. I don't know where that's come from. I'm reusing pieces of tape from on the side of my die cutting machine. Trying to be frugal and save the planet at the same time. Right, here we go. Right, so hopefully now we can pop that through the machine. Whoops, daisy. And we'll see what this looks like. I'll try and pop that through. Okay. All right, what we've got now then is our vase, which I'm going to cut to size now. And we've got our wild flowers. There we go. Pop the die away. Pop our piece out. There you go. Look at that. Isn't that just... I love it. I will never get bored of looking at that and using it. Right, so first of all, let's deal with our vase. And just literally, let's just chop that bit off to make it a little bit easier. And I'm going to chop this around, but as I say, a lot of this isn't going to be seen anyway, so I'm not going to, but actually that's pretty much spot on, isn't it? Brilliant. And that's going to work with the other sets as well. There's is it Camellia cluster? I'm sure it is. It's something like that. It's beautiful. Right, then we've got the embossing folder, so we're going to pop this on here. Yeah, that's facing upwards, so I'm going to have a little look, try and get that nice and straight. So when you put the lid down, you should be able to see if it's pretty much in the right place there. So that's going to go through the machine. Now I just need to grab another plate. It's hopefully, yeah, I can reach it. Okay, so pop that through. Okay, oh, hang on. I used the wrong one. Yeah, I've used the wrong plate. Just bear with me a second and I will get, that's it, because I only need one plate with this one for my machine. That's it. Have a word with yourself, Maria. There we go. That's it. That's it. That's it. Right, so when we take this out of here, that is beautiful. It's hard to tell, to sort of show you on camera the front, but if you look on the back, look at that detail. It's, oh, honestly, it's beautiful. So we've got our bits and bobs there. So let's have a look and see where we're up to with the card now. Okay, so the front's okay. Ribbon seems to be sticking down. Now we want some background bits here. So this is where these other pieces come into play from the lattice die. So what I've done on the finished piece, I've kept it just pretty much with the same two shades here. I've gone with the darker green, and I've gone with the apple. But what I've done is I've die cut a couple of different options. So I've got a piece of gold. Let's have a look and we'll see what we think. So piece of gold in there. And then I've got, look, this is the same apple colour. Or I've got a lighter colour there as well. So that way we've got various, there we go. Okay, like so. Let's have a look at that. I quite like that with the different sort of shades. Mix it up. I like that one as well, but that one's a bit, so we'll go with this. You can see a couple of options. So as I say, I have cut those. You've got the larger piece there, which is this die here. And then if you want a smaller matten layer, then you've got this one here. I haven't used that on this piece. And then, oh yes I have, actually I should show you that, because this is one that hasn't got a cut edge, so I'm going to cut that and show you, because this is another one of those where if we just cut this, it's going to just stay inside your card. So let me show you, and I'll cut this in the 2 steps so you can, for anyone that, you know, is just sort of learning die cutting, it might be a little bit clearer to you. So I need a bit of card for that, don't I? I didn't bring a spare bit for that. Oh, here we go. We've got a bit of spare. We've got a bit of spare. We're okay. We are good to go, because I've got the spare bit from when we cut earlier on. There we go. Lovely. Right, so let's take this piece here, pop that on, and we'll die cut this first of all. Okay, let me just mess with my plates again. Okay, so I'm going to pop that through the machine. Okay, so what we get with this one then, look, is that, look how they just fell out. Look at that, isn't that great? So that's beautiful, because you can have a lattice within your card, which is great. I love having options. So let me just get rid of all of these bits off here into the bin, because we do want that cut out. So because we've got the 2 sizes here, we've got choices. Now I want the smaller one. If we go with the bigger one, you're going to get a larger border around there, yeah, if you can see that. But I want the smaller one, like so. Okay, so let me grab that bit of tape. Let's have a little look, and it's easy to line up. You can see that little bit of card around on the inside of your die, so that'll help you out. Right, so I'm going to stick that down. Let's grab a bit more tape from the side of my machine. There we are. So this time when I cut, I'm going to have the nice freestanding piece like that one. So again, more versatility. Okay, I think we've got all our die cutting done now, and we're ready to construct the card, the final bits and bobs. Okay, there you go. So that is how that works. So I'm going to pop that one to one side, because I am going to use these ones here. So let's give those a little stick down. So let's get a bit of glue onto here, pop that one in. And the beauty of this also is, because it's come from exactly the same set, that is going to fit in there exactly, because it's the same die that cut the gold piece as cut the green out of the middle of that. So that's fab, isn't it? Right, so let's grab again my gluey cellophane. What did I do it? There it is, there it is, there it is. Because again, this is a fiddly die cut piece, if you like. So a little bit of glue on there, and again, just going to press this. The main bits are the edges really, but if you can get plenty on the inside bits as well, then all the better. There we go. Yeah, get plenty on there. And you'll see what you've got is a thinner layer of glue, which is better, because it means it's not going to all splodge out of the sides, but you've got it distributed right across your die, which is better. There we go. So that's that on there. Just give that a tiny wiggle. There we go. And then we're ready to pop our flowers on. Okay, so what I'm going to do, in actual fact, I've got one of my spare one. There we go. I've popped pads on one of my spare ones already, so you'll see slightly different colours, but not to worry. We've got our vase as well, so I'm going to give the vase a little bit of a shape, just a little bit of dimension. Okay, so I'll need to get some pads for that, or of course we could use, actually, I'll go with some pin flare for that, rather than messing about with more pads. So I'll pop some like so. Okay, not near the edges, don't want any of that glue near the edges. And then, as I say, just give that a bit of a bend. I'm going to pop that on about here. We can move it if we need to. Okay, and then we've got our flowers as well. Let's see. I want to try and cut. Can you see there? I've got a little bit of a, and that will annoy me. So I'm going in at an angle like that because I think that's quite nice. So on here then, we can grab all our pads. And what I tend to do is, although I put a lot of pads on, I don't necessarily take all the sticky off all of them, because a lot of them that are on there more to raise it up than to stick it down. So call me lazy, but that's what I do. Here we go. And I think on these middle ones here that I'm just peeling off, I'm going to give those another layer to bulk those up a bit more. So give me just a second. I'm just going to pop those on the side. Here we are. So I'm going to thicken those up like so, or even if I just thicken up the middle one, actually, that'll be okay. Let's go with all of them. Let's put more on all of them in the middle. Here we go, one more. Okay, that's great. Give that a little bit of shape as well, and then we can go in. But as I say, we could go in on top. That's a bit top heavy, but say I want to cover that a little bit, so I'm going to go in a bit of an angle. What about there, like that? That's quite nice, isn't it? Do you think? Let's go there. That's where I'm going to go. That's what I've decided. Here we go. And leave some leaves sticking up as well, some foliage, because that's what they like in a vase, isn't it? The leaves go their own way. Right, how about that? Okay, so we've got lots of dimension on there as well. I haven't put a sentiment on this one. I might not put one on because I don't know who it's for or what it's for. So that, my friends, is your lovely 20-inch, not 8-inch, 20-centimetre card. All right, so thank you for joining me, and have a lovely day. Take care and hopefully see you again soon. Bye now.